my channel, Haylee Marie Vintage. Today I have a very exciting little video for you guys. So we are doing a vintage shop with me. So I have been vintage shopping in Denver for a really long time. I found a new shop I like, and then there's two tried and true that I've been shopping for a very long time, and I'm super excited to show you what I tried on there and then what I actually ended up getting. So the first one that we're gonna go into is called Goldmine Vintage. I only took footage in the dressing room there, so you'll see everything I tried on. And then the second one will be Boss Vintage, which I have been going to since I started buying vintage. And then the third place that we will be going to is called Sewn. And it is a really cool kind of like maker's store that also has vintage in it. And right now they have vintage sewing goods, which I was very excited about. So we are going to now dive into that footage. All right, here we are in Goldmine Vintage fitting room. This is the first dress I have on, which is this really cute black with gingham 1940s number. I really, really loved this, and I did pick it up. And next up is this really, really fabulous green dress. I did not end up getting this just because it's not my favorite silhouette, but I thought the details on it were spectacular. And if it was a silhouette I wore more of, I would have definitely gone for it. Next up, we have this very, very cute little plaid number. I really liked this piece, but I felt like I could sew it myself without too much of a challenge, so I didn't end up picking it up, but I do think it's really, really cute and easy to make. And then this one here, I think I've maybe tried on before, is a really, really lovely 1950s number with a little bit of like sway and sash in it. I don't know, I just really enjoyed this dress. I thought it was very pretty, but I didn't end up getting it. This one here I thought was absolutely cute, but it was way too tight on my hips. I absolutely loved this color, and I looked at it enough to hopefully figure out how to make it. I was just kind of showing you the underside, but it's just a bunch of lace sewn together on a piece of chiffon and then placed in like a normal collar. So I think I could make something similar to this, but in a silhouette that fits me. And then here I'm just showing you the detail. It even has this little rhinestone bit. I don't know, this was just an absolutely lovely piece, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. This here is the most beautiful gunny sacks, I was going to say ever, but I don't think that's true. I thought this was absolutely darling. I do want to note, so this tan shirt you're seeing under, I am wearing for the protection of the clothing. It is just like an undershirt that protects clothing from sweat, and I like to wear it when I try on vintage to not put deodorant marks on their things. Here we're in the next store. It is called Boss Vintage. I am trying on this dress. I'm trying to show you this pocket detail, but it's not really showing up. This is just kind of a basic black dress. I thought the fabric was way too bulky and not very cute, so I didn't end up picking it up. And then this here is a really, really lovely patio dress. I think it's super pretty. I liked the color, but I tried on two light blue dresses, and this is not the one that won. However, it is still very, very gorgeous. Here is light blue dress I did end up buying. I thought this one was comfier, and I really liked the details on it, and it was a little bit more simple and day-to-day, and I just thought it was so cute, and it was a 1940s piece as opposed to a 60s piece. So super loved that. You maybe saw the little dog in the background. There was a dog in this shop that I loved and thought was so cute. Last up here is this really beautiful navy piece. I'm trying to again show you the details, but the lighting's not great. It had lots of chevron stitching that was really interesting. This one, the seams were starting to pop in it. Oh, and here I found better lighting to show you this piece on. As you can see, lots of really, really cool details that I would never sew myself, but just not in good enough condition for me. Here I am just kind of showing you around the shop. They do such a good job on their displays. I really love shopping here. They have been kind of remodeling and changing how it looks, but they've been there for 30 years, hoping that they are here for another 30 years because I absolutely adore this shop. This is like their tall dress area, and then they have like this really lovely hat display. I didn't really like any other hats this round, which usually I like a lot of their hats, so that was interesting. But as you can see, just a lovely store and pretty big as well. We are about to walk into the back room of what is a two-room shop. I forgot to film the front room, but this is the sewing supply room. They have a room just full of vintage sewing goods here. I dream of one day having a sewing studio that looks kind of like this. I think I would definitely base a sewing studio kind of looking like this little shop room. Hopefully someday I'll get to achieve that dream. Look at all these vintage sewing machines with a bunch of like trims and notions and all sorts of things kind of tucked in, and all these fabric stacks and patterns. It is just truly such a beautiful little shop, and I absolutely adore it. And here you can see all the vintage fabric. There is much more vintage fabric than even there was last time. And then over here were all the vintage patterns I went through. I didn't find anything in these bins I like hugely liked, but there were some smaller bins with 1930s and 40s patterns in it. But yeah, I really think this shop is so stunning, and the displaying that they do is absolutely beautiful. Here, I'm kind of showing you through some fabric stacks. I just wanted to show you because they have so many beautiful vintage fabrics and in decent yardages. Not all of them have as many yardages as I wanted. This was my favorite stack here, the pinks. I absolutely love that plaid, but I have enough plaid. I thought these ducks were adorable, but I didn't need like a yard of fabric for $46. All right, you have seen all the footage. Let's talk about the haul. We're first going to start with the stuff from Sewn. I did not buy any clothing there, which is fairly unusual. I usually do buy some clothes there. They had cute stuff, but I wanted all of my money there to go towards sewing supplies. So let's first start with some belt buckles. I bought a super cute pack of belt buckles, and I have kind of like this little guy, which is like super cute. And then we also have this guy here. And then we have this little green buckle. This one here is a really pretty like metallic silver. And then this one here is just a plain black one. This one here has a really cute little green hue. And then this guy here has like this really cool, it's like shiny. I don't know if you guys can see that. But those are those. These guys were in a pack for $16, which I felt like was a pretty good deal given how good of condition they're in. So this here is some really, really beautiful navy trim. It has some little navy trim on the top and then a fuller navy trim on the bottom that I think you could actually do some really interesting sewing techniques with. So I picked up this. So first up we have this folklore pattern. This here, or folkwear, not folklore. I'm getting my Taylor Swift confused. This is for an Edwardian bridal gown or an afternoon dress. So I just thought this was really pretty, and it was $18, which I felt like was a pretty good deal for it. This looks very complicated and hard to make, so I don't know that I'm gonna get around to it this year, but I did think it was beautiful, and I haven't really looked at a ton of folkwear patterns. But I did really enjoy this one because I don't really have anything like a Edwardian in my pattern collection. Next up, we have this adorable little top pattern. It is Simplicity 1661, and it has these really cute scallops on the top of the halter that then crisscrosses in the back that I just thought was absolutely adorable. So I will be hopefully making this one up soon. I also have been liking the idea of using some of these tank top patterns to make things that could go over a plain white blouse like this guy. All right, and then this here is Butterick 6874. I picked this one up because I thought the bust was super cool. I will have to make this skirt fuller and probably a little bit more A-line, but it like kind of like peaks here and then has like this really cool seaming detail down here, and I just thought it was absolutely really cool. And all the patterns in the shop were $12, which I felt like all of these were a pretty good deal. They would definitely have been more than that on Etsy. So I picked that up, and I can't remember. I picked up some of these at Sewn, and then I picked some of these up at Boss Vintage. And I can't quite remember which ones I got where. Actually, I do know for a fact I got this one here at Boss Vintage. It's like a little ball gown, kind of. This is probably late 50s. I guess I could maybe look. Nope, it doesn't say on the side, on the outside, so I'd have to look. But it's really pretty. It has like poofy sleeves that you can either wear on your shoulders or slide them to the side. And then last one of the patterns is this one here. I have really been loving a keyhole detail, as you can see in my last video that shows me sewing a dress with a keyhole. This one I liked because there's like kind of a triangle option, and then there's also more of a slit. I just thought it looks really nice. I'm not going to go with a pleating on the skirt. I personally do not like how this type of pleating looks on me. Let's keep on moving. So next up, I would guess this is maybe 80s. It doesn't say, but this here is just this really nice like chiffon fabric with rainbow stripes kind of through it. It is 3 5/8 yards of 44-inch width, which is why I think it's more modern. But I just thought the colors of this was really pretty, and I liked the weight a lot. So I think it'll make a really great overlay for a dress, like with something just black underneath. Next up, we have this really beautiful, they have it marked as a 1920s cotton. It's really high quality and really lovely, and it is 33 inches wide, and it is only 2 yards, so I'm gonna have to figure out what exactly I'm doing with this, but it has this really lovely like flannel feeling to it, so I think I'll make some sort of shirt with it. It might have to be short sleeve with the yardage I'm working on, but I just really liked kind of like the leaf texture, and it has like this really beautiful 3D feeling here. Like these stripes are a different type of weave than everything else. It's just really, really beautiful, and I will be terrified to cut into it, but I thought it was gorgeous. And then next up, we have this fabric. I'm super excited. So I saw this fabric back in June when I was last there, and I thought it was so stunning, but I was not at a point in my sewing journey where I was willing to make the investment in it because it was, I think, $28 a yard, and it has 5 yards. Yep. But this is a really beautiful, like, 1950s fabric. I really love the bright, joyful colors in it, and I have been thinking about this since I left it there in June, so I decided to go ahead and purchase it, and I'm really excited to one day work with it. It's going to be a little bit, but it is so pretty, and I'm so excited about it. And then last up, this was definitely an impulse buy. It is vintage fabric from the 1950s, or it says 40s, but I'm not quite sure about that. I would actually guess this to be 60s, but it is a 38-inch wide, and it has 3 7/8 yards. But it is this really cute, it has like all these cats and puppies and safety pins on it, and I just thought it was absolutely darling, and I had to have it. And it's like my favorite color scheme. I mean, it matches my hair. What more could you ask for? But I just thought this piece of fabric was absolutely stunning, and I'm really, really, really excited to use it someday. This one's one I'm going to be a little bit more afraid of. It was, I think, $76 total for 3 7/8 yards. It does have some wear issues that I'm going to have to see if I can get some stains out, or I'm going to have to cut around or embroider on top of them. We'll see. That is it for Sewing with Notions. The other things that you did see in store, because I tried them on, are I have all the dresses here. This here is a really, really lovely light blue 1940s piece. I actually have patterns that remind me of this guy. It's a rayon piece, and it's really, really lovely. I really like the length. It has like a contrast bottom. This is something that I could technically make, but they just don't make rayon like this anymore. So I will pick up something like this, because honestly, buying a dress like this, which I believe this dress was $108, is cheaper than buying the fabric for this dress, as demonstrated by my prior fabric purchases. But it is absolutely beautiful, and I like it too because it's a little bit of a looser fit on me, which means it will be more comfortable and I can wear it more often. Next up, we're gonna go with another 1940s piece. I saw this one hanging on the wall, and it was, let me check. This one was $95, which I actually thought was a pretty good deal. This is not something I would be sewing myself because of all this detail. I'm not good enough with straight lines for this, and then it is rayon, and it is gorgeous, and I love the detail up at the top. I just think this piece is absolutely stunning, and I can't wait to wear it very soon, hopefully. And this was from Goldmine Vintage. The other one was from Boss Vintage. This is from Goldmine, and I just think it is absolutely stunning. I only usually allow myself to buy one dress at each of these places, because you know, budget, but I do have a little bit of a bonus coming to me at the end of this year. So I did go ahead and pick up 2 dresses there, and the second dress I picked up I am absolutely ecstatic about. This is an authentic gunny sacks. I do not own very many gunny sacks that are, like, I own a lot of like Candy Jones or other gunny sacks style dresses, but I own very few gunny sacks because they have just gotten so expensive. I was telling my mom about this, and she absolutely could not believe it. But this here is one that I've seen online, but I didn't think would look cute on me, so I've never thought about picking it up. They were selling it for $145. It's still in really good condition, and I absolutely love the lace up the front. The way this bodice sits, I actually think this would be beautiful over like a blouse like what I'm wearing right now. So that way it could be work appropriate, and then it could also be just kind of like a cute little flirty summer dress. I usually am not a peplum person, but I adore this peplum. And I also really like the pattern on this. It's kind of quilt-like in a different way. Like Gunny Sacks is always kind of feed sacky. I mean, that's kind of the whole brand and the whole deal. This one is kind of, to me, more like realistic feed sacky and less of kind of the ditzy prints they do. So I really absolutely love the print, and then the fit on this is really great. I have a couple of inches of wiggle room because it has the tie. So this will be a piece that I can keep in my wardrobe for a very long time, and I also just always love how complex their hems are. I feel gorgeous in this dress, and I can't wait to wear it out and about, and I can't wait to wear it multi-seasonally because to me this is a very season neutral piece. So it will be in my wardrobe a very long time, and $145 is really not bad for a Gunny Sacks. So super exciting. And I talked to the lady at the shop because they put it out on the floor that day that I came in, and she said it was somebody's dance dress in the 70s where they went to their school dance in it, which was always fun to get the background of a piece. But that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along vintage shopping with me for the first time. It was super fun to bring you along and show you all the things I tried on. Recently, I actually started a Ko-Fi for this channel. I put a lot of time and love and money into this channel, and so if you want to support me, you can give me a tip. I will link that below. Otherwise, you can always support me for free by commenting, liking, and subscribing. I would love to have you stick around, and I will see you next time. Bye!